The lights dim. The sound of gloves hitting leather echoes through an empty gym. A lone figure trains under the flicker of a single bulb. Sweat glistening, eyes locked, unbreakable focus. This is not just a fighter preparing for a match. This is Michael B. Jordan, a man who turned every rejection, every heartbreak, into fuel for greatness. Before the red carpets and blockbuster roles, there was a kid from Newark, New Jersey, surrounded by noise, doubt, and danger, yet dreaming louder than the world around him. He wasn't born into privilege. He built it, punch by punch, roll by roll, heartbreak by heartbreak. From being the kid who died early on the wire to becoming the face of resilience in Creed and the conflicted king in Black Panther, his journey is not just about fame. It's about fighting for meaning. But behind the muscles and movie stardom lies a deeper question. How does a man who plays heroes learn to become one in real life? This is the story of Michael B. Jordan, the fighter, the dreamer, the man who never stopped rising. Michael Bakari Jordan was born on February 9, 1987, in Santa Ana, California. But his real story began in the tough streets of Newark, New Jersey. Bakari means noble promise in Swahili, a name his parents gave him with hope, not privilege. His mother, Donna, was an artist and high school counselor. His father, Michael A. Jordan, worked for the Marine Corps. Together, they built a small world of protection and purpose inside a city that often tried to break young dreams. Newark in the 1990s was raw, full of energy, culture, and danger. Gunshots sometimes replaced lullabies, and success felt like a faraway fantasy. But inside the Jordan household, discipline was law. Chores before play. Church on Sundays. Respect, always. His parents drilled into him that greatness didn't come from where you were born, but from what you dared to become. From an early age, Michael was different. He was shy, observant, but driven. His mother noticed his creative spark and enrolled him in art and modeling classes. Tiny windows to a bigger world. He appeared in print ads for Toys R Us and even posed for model shoots before he could spell Hollywood. Yet every time he left the photo set and walked home through Newark's rough blocks, reality hit hard. Friends drifted toward the streets, while Michael focused on staying clean, focused, and out of trouble. His father's steady hand and his mother's constant faith became his armor. Those early years taught him what no acting school ever could: survival, humility, and the courage to stay kind in a hard world. Before he ever threw a punch on screen, Michael B. Jordan learned to fight, not in a boxing ring but in life itself. While most kids in Newark were focused on surviving their teenage years, Michael B. Jordan was already chasing something bigger, a dream most people around him couldn't even imagine. At 12, he began auditioning for commercials and TV shows in New York City. His mother would take time off work to ride buses and trains with him, carrying his portfolio in a folder and snacks in her purse. His first small appearances came quietly: a single line on Cosby, another blink and you'll miss it moment on The Sopranos. But every second in front of a camera lit a spark inside him. He didn't crave fame. He craved the chance to prove he belonged. Then came 2002, the year everything changed. At just 15, Michael landed the role of Wallace in HBO's The Wire. The character was innocent, loyal, and doomed. And so was Michael's first taste of heartbreak. His performance was so real, so raw, that audiences never forgot him. But when his character was killed off, he felt the sting of rejection early. In his words, "They killed Wallace, but they didn't kill my dream." He refused to fade away. Soon after, he joined the cast of All My Children, where he played Reggie Montgomery, a street-smart teen with heart. It wasn't glamorous, but it taught him discipline, endurance, and how to live in front of the camera day after day. Still, Hollywood wasn't calling yet. Roles were few, pay was low, and casting directors often confused him with the other Michael Jordan. The struggle was constant, but so was his resolve. When many would have quit, Michael packed his bags and moved to Los Angeles, betting everything on himself. He didn't know when the breakthrough would come, only that it would. Because for Michael B. Jordan, failure wasn't the end. It was the warm-up. Los Angeles wasn't kind to dreamers. For every hopeful face walking into an audition room, 100 more were walking out, defeated. Michael B. Jordan knew the odds, but he didn't care. He worked relentlessly, training, networking, and studying his craft. Years of small roles led to a performance that would redefine his career. Fruitvale Station, 2013. In this heartbreaking true story, Michael played Oscar Grant, a young black man whose life was tragically cut short by police violence. The film premiered at Sundance, and when the credits rolled, the room was silent, then erupted in tears and applause. Critics called it a career-defining performance. For the first time, Michael wasn't that kid from The Wire. He was Michael B. Jordan, an actor with soul, truth, and gravity. That same film introduced him to a creative brotherhood that would change everything. Director Ryan Coogler. Together they would craft stories that resonated far beyond the screen. In 2015, Coogler handed Michael a script titled Creed. It wasn't just another boxing movie, it was a rebirth of a legacy. To prepare, Michael trained like a real fighter, gaining muscle, bruises, and scars. He refused a body double. "Every punch you see," he said, "I took." The result? Electrifying. Creed became a worldwide hit and revived the Rocky franchise. Sylvester Stallone called him the future. Overnight, Michael transformed from promising actor to leading man, the symbol of determination and discipline. Then came Black Panther, 2018. As Eric Killmonger, he brought pain, anger, and humanity to one of Marvel's most complex villains. The world didn't just watch him, it felt him. The film shattered records and became a cultural revolution. By his early 30s, Michael B. Jordan wasn't just a star. He was a movement, a face of black excellence, a symbol of controlled power, and a reminder that heroes aren't born perfect. They're forged in fire. And just when the world thought he'd reached his peak, life was about to test him in ways no script could prepare him for. Success can be a strange kind of storm, quiet on the outside, but tearing you apart within. After Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan was everywhere. Magazine covers, red carpets, fashion campaigns. The world saw a man at the top of his game. What they didn't see was the pressure that came with it. Hollywood, for all its glamour, demands perfection and punishes humanity. Every photo, every word, every rumor became news. There were whispers that he was too polished, too private, even too ambitious. His relationships became public property. His silence was mistaken for arrogance. He wasn't spiraling through scandal, but through expectation. The pressure to represent a generation, to be the flawless face of black excellence, began to take its toll. He once said, "People forget you're human. They see the character, not the person." Then came a blow that no headline could prepare him for. The loss of his close friend and creative partner, Chadwick Boseman. The man who had shared the screen with him, who had inspired millions through Black Panther, was suddenly gone. Michael's world went quiet. In interviews, his voice would tremble when he spoke about Chadwick. "I wish I had more time," he said softly. "He was my brother." Behind the fame, he retreated into himself. No scandals, no breakdowns, just silence. He stopped posting, stopped smiling as brightly, stopped chasing the noise. The Hollywood machine wanted the next headline. Michael wanted to breathe. For the first time, he questioned the cost of success. He had gained the world, but what did he lose to keep it? And out of that quiet pain, something new began to form. Not a fall from grace, but a transformation waiting to rise. When life broke his rhythm, Michael B. Jordan didn't run. He rebuilt. Out of grief came a new purpose. The silence that followed Chadwick Boseman's passing became the soil where transformation took root. He realized that his true power wasn't just in playing strong characters, it was in creating them. In 2020, he founded Outlier Society Productions, a company built to champion stories Hollywood had ignored for too long. Stories of color, courage, and truth. He wasn't waiting for opportunity anymore. He was making it. Then, in 2023, He took a leap that even he called terrifying, stepping behind the camera for the first time to direct Creed 3's. The decision shocked many. Could an actor known for his body and intensity also deliver as a visionary? The answer roared through theaters worldwide. Creed 3 wasn't just a movie, it was a statement. Jordan pushed boundaries, merging Japanese anime influences, emotional storytelling, and breathtaking cinematography. It wasn't about boxing anymore. It was about inner battles, brotherhood, pride, loss, and healing. He directed his co-star, Jonathan Majors, with empathy and precision. Every punch carried a memory. Every silence a scar. "This one," he said, "is for everyone who taught me how to fight, and for the ones I lost along the way." The result was triumph. Creed the 3 broke records, becoming the highest-grossing entry in the franchise, and cementing Jordan's place as one of Hollywood's most dynamic talents. But beyond the numbers, it was something deeper. A man who once played a fighter had learned how to fight differently. With vision, integrity, and purpose, Michael B. Jordan didn't reinvent himself for fame. He did it for freedom. By his mid-30s, Michael B. Jordan had already done what few in Hollywood ever manage. He became both an icon and an influence. But his legacy wasn't built on trophies or ticket sales. It was built on representation, responsibility, and the quiet revolution he led by example. For young black men around the world, Jordan became a mirror of possibility. He didn't fit into the narrow boxes Hollywood had drawn. He was strong but sensitive, proud but humble, fierce yet deeply human. He showed that masculinity could coexist with vulnerability, that power could live in empathy. Through Outlier Society, he fought for diversity not as a slogan, but as a standard. His company was one of the first in Hollywood to adopt an official inclusion rider, ensuring that every project he produced reflected the real world, not just the familiar one. Critics and colleagues called him the next Denzel. But Michael didn't want to be anyone's next anything. He wanted to be the first himself. His performances, from Oscar Grant to Killmonger to Adonis Creed, became modern archetypes of black identity. Flawed, proud, defiant, and deeply real. Even outside film, his impact stretched further, mentoring young actors, supporting community programs, and speaking openly about mental health. In an industry obsessed with stardom, Michael B. Jordan became something rarer, a symbol of integrity. He once said, "If I can inspire one kid from a neighborhood like mine to believe he can be more, then that's legacy enough." And for millions, he already has. Fame once defined him. Now peace does. After years of chasing perfection, Michael B. Jordan learned the art of slowing down, of letting life breathe between the takes. In interviews, his tone changed. The once fiery young actor now spoke with calm introspection. "I used to think success was about never stopping," he said. "Now I know it's about knowing when to pause." He began prioritizing family, spending more time with his parents, siblings, and lifelong friends. He guarded his private life fiercely, not out of pride, but out of protection for what truly mattered. "When the lights go off," he once said, "you need to love who's still around you." He also learned to give back in quiet ways. Scholarships for underprivileged youth, mentorship programs for aspiring filmmakers, speaking out on racial justice, not through anger, but through example. Every action, every choice, carried intention. Behind the scenes, he embraced therapy, meditation, and reflection. "It's okay to be vulnerable," he told Men's Health. "It doesn't make you weak. It means you're healing." And through it all, his understanding of greatness evolved, no longer measured by fame or fortune, but by peace and purpose. Michael once said that legacy isn't about what you leave behind, but who you lift while you're here. That belief now guides everything he does, from the scripts he chooses to the people he helps rise beside him. He's not chasing immortality anymore. He's learning to live it, one act of kindness, one film, one truth at a time. Because sometimes, the bravest thing a fighter can do is finally put down his gloves. The crowd roars. The camera pans across the ring. Adonis Creed raises his gloves, victorious, bruised, but unbroken. In that moment, it's not just a character standing tall. It's Michael B. Jordan, the kid from Newark who dreamed beyond survival, who turned pain into power and fear into purpose. He once said, "I don't want to just play strong men. I want to become one." And somewhere along the way, he did. From the streets of New Jersey to the heart of Hollywood, from the boy who was told no to the man who built his own yes, his story reminds us that strength isn't found in fame. It's found in faith, discipline, and the courage to keep rising when no one's watching. He fought for every role, every opportunity, every ounce of respect. And when life hit back, he hit harder. Not with anger, but with grace. Today, Michael B. Jordan stands as proof that you can be both the fighter and the storyteller, the hero and the human. Because true greatness isn't about the spotlight you stand in. It's about the light you leave behind. This is Michael B. Jordan's legacy.